Hello everyone, this is Dr. Bogdan Moldoveanu coming to you live from my office, and I've bought a brand new Kevin Peter microscope, and I just wanted to showcase a little bit the benefits of having such a great device in your own office. Now, this is an entry-level microscope, both in terms of what it can offer, I mean from an ergonomic point of view, and in terms of pricing. It does have some limitations, and I'm going to showcase them a bit to you, but trust me when I'm telling you that this is the best thing that you can buy with a budget that is between 10,000 to 15,000 euros. So just to start you off, as you can clearly see, we have a very small office here. So this is where I do all of my treatments. And having a limited space, I required a microscope that was able to fit in the space between the dental unit, like you can see here, and the furniture. So with a wider microscope that would have been very difficult. So when I was working with the Zumax OMS 3200 in this room, I used to place the microscope here. So basically I had only this small corridor to welcome the patient to the dental unit, which was not the best way. And every time I had to raise the patient to go in the other room to take an x-ray. Well, I had to move the microscope away, be sure to take the pedal away, and so on and so forth. So things were not very, let's say, ergonomical in terms of taking x-rays. Now with the space I have, it's very easy. Just I ask the patient to get off the chair, I open the door, and then we're off to the x-ray. Another thing that I like at the microscope is that even though you don't have any electromagnetical brakes, you can use the knobs, the brakes that you have here, to balance it quite well. As you can clearly see, I'm just going to take my two fingers and I can take the microscope and move it however I want using just two fingers. Obviously you're not going to do that whilst working, you're going to use your hand, and you can clearly see that with the hand it's even easier. So if I place the microscope like this, it stays like this. If I place it like this, it stays like this. If I place it like this, it stays like this. So I mean, for a microscope in this price range, this is quite remarkable. The ergonomics are really spectacular. So this was the first thing that made me choose this product instead of any other. Because, you know, the first thing I'm looking at when I buy a microscope, obviously besides the optics that it can deliver, is the ergonomics. And maybe I misspoke. So not the first thing, but the second thing, yeah, because the first thing is indeed the optics, but the second thing is the ergonomics, and this microscope truly provides you with some great quality ergonomics. You see that I opted for the unit with the built-in camera, which is really nice, because in this way I can film my treatments, and you see I have everything there on the big screen, okay? And I can also use the phone to take pictures during the treatment. So filming and taking pictures in the same time to maybe put together a case which I would like to share with you at a course or a congress, a conference, or something like that. The phone adapter works really well. It's just like any phone adapter. So yeah, I have this iPhone here. So this is how you see the image. You have a little vignette. You just zoom in in order to eliminate the vignette. And then if you want to, let's say, rotate the image in any way, you can do this by turning this little knob here. So in terms of documenting this setup, I think it's truly worth investing. I mean, if you're keen on showcasing your work through meetings, congresses, conferences, go for the phone adapter and for the built-in camera. And this way you can both film and take pictures at the same time and put together some really beautiful cases. Okay, but I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's just back up to the very beginning. So we have this, as you can see, this base here, which is quite compact, so it fitted really well in this place here. Then you have a long straight mount. We have the power source here, and then you can connect your HDMI cable. Let me just bend a bit so I can show it to you. So yeah, you see, this is where the HDMI cable from the built-in camera exits the microscope. Talking about the wireless HDMI connection that needs the power in order to work, I had a discussion with Vlad, my colleague who is helping us edit everything and putting together all these vlogs, and you know, he told me, why not use a power bank instead of plugging it in. So you know, it's as easy as this. So you put it inside, and then you can use the power bank, so you can then make it a little bit more sexier here, so you don't have all the wires running around the office. So yeah, a very cool information coming from his part. To be honest, I didn't even think about it, but yeah, it makes perfect sense. So if you have a power bank and you don't have any outlet nearby, don't worry, you can use the power bank, and then you have wireless HDMI streaming without any complications. Then you have the knobs, the brakes here, which are fairly easy to use. Obviously, you can tighten them and untighten them. I prefer to have them as loose as possible. Obviously, I don't want the microscope to jiggle around, but I don't want to tighten them very hard, because then you're going to move the microscope with loads of difficulties. So yeah, just be sure to tighten them enough. Then you have the wrist brake here, which allows you to push the microscope up or down. And if you're buying this microscope, I need to tell you one more thing. That, let me just sit down here. You see this right here? Well, you need to open this, and inside this you have the adjustment for the vertical balancing arm. So here you can tighten it, or I tighten it. That means that it can either sustain more weight on top of the head or less weight, so it raises and lowers very easy. So whenever you want to balance this arm here, don't use the knob here. So don't use this knob in order to tighten it. First, open this right here, which, yeah, as you can clearly see by the scratches, it's a real trickster, right? It's really difficult to open it, because this is a very small hole, so you need to insert some coin there and turn it and push at the same time. So yeah, you won't be doing it a lot of times anyway. You're going to tighten it and untighten it every single time you maybe decide to put a new phone here, which weighs a bit more, so then you need to operate this. But yeah, for I don't know, the 3 or 4 times you're going to use it, it's going to be unpleasant, but other than that, it works quite fine. So as you can see, I have it really loose here, so I can easily operate it, and the raising and the lowering of the microscope goes seamless. So there's no movement, there's no rattling, there's no nothing. So just take into account that you need to make the adjustment here before you actually start your work. Other than that, the microscope is quite easy to use. I mean, the arm, the central arm is quite big. Then you have the secondary arm. I love it that from the center arm you have the secondary arm that lowers, so you don't have the setup in which you have the secondary arm on top of the main arm. That means that you can easily place it as such, and the assistant can also have enough room to work even if you lower the secondary arm. So the setup is great, the microscope is well proportioned, the length of both arms are quite nice for any type of dental unit that you are going to use. So yeah, it gets some plus points for this. And then we have the cables here. This is the HDMI cable, which I showed you, that goes out all the way back there where I've connected my wireless HDMI transmitter. Then you can insert, let me just turn it around so you can see a little bit better. Okay, yeah, so then you can insert the memory stick here, and all the pictures that you're going to take and the videos that you're going to take are going to be stored on this USB storage device. You're going to take the pictures by activating them with this pedal. We have the pedal right here. Let me just grab the pedal. So yeah, this is the pedal, and it has this one button that you need to push. When it turns blue, it's communicating with the camera. If you want to take a picture, you push down on the pedal, on the yellow pedal. If you push down on the blue pedal, you take the video. If you push down again on the blue pedal, then you stop the video. So it's fairly easy. It works with a single A battery, so just be sure that you turn it off when you're not using it, so you do not drain the battery, so you don't need to change it every other week. Once you took the pictures, you can show them to the patient on the big monitor, because right here, as you can see, there's also room for USB for a mouse, and I'm using this one here, the Logi mouse. Usually the guys from Woodpecker deliver the mouse with the microscope, and there on the TV screen, if you can see, you have a menu, and you go to the right end of your screen, and then you have a menu, and then you can choose browse pictures, browse videos, and you can show the patient all the pictures and the video you took on the big TV screen, so he can better understand what is it that you did. Here we have the power supply. Now the thing that I don't like about this microscope is that we have the fan right here, and it's a very, very noisy fan. Let me just get close to the microscope with a microphone so you can hear the very loud fan. So yeah, this is something that I don't like. Another thing that I don't like is that the painting on the microscope is cheap. So now I've had the microscope installed 1 week ago. Check this out. Huh? And trust me, I am one who really takes care of everything he owns. So yeah, this is quite unpleasant. These stickers here, they're for protecting the microscope, as we are working in a limited space. You know, whenever we're pushing the microscope to one side or the other, I would rather not have it hitting the furniture and getting all messed up. So as you can see, in every, let's say, danger point, for example, as you can see there, if the assistant isn't careful and she pushes the microscope like this, it's going to hit the dental unit. So yeah, bump, bump. So now I have this band here, which is protecting the dental microscope. So yeah, you can also use this if you're working in a limited space. It helps in assuring the microscope, which afterwards you'll be able to sell for a good price point. Because if it's all messed up, you know, it's going to be really difficult. And as I previously told you, the paintwork on this particular microscope isn't that great. So imagine that you're placing a different phone here, and then the microscope suddenly goes like this. What should you do? Well, you're going to open this one here. You see? Opening, 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 until the microscope, look, it slowly begins to straighten out. You see? Once it's straightened out, in order to determine the strength you need to push it from one side to the other, you're going to work with this knob here, which has a plus and a minus. So obviously if you're turning to the minus, you can move it a lot easier. If you're going to the plus, it's a lot tightened, so you're going to need a lot more strength to be able to move it. The same goes for this right here, which is basically this axis here. So imagine that you're going to place something there, the microscope is going to become very heavy, so you're going to tighten it and untighten it until it stays balanced, so until it stays centered. And then the difficulty that is, or the strength that is required to move the microscope in these two directions will be determined by tightening this knob here. So with this you level it out, with this you determine the strength that is required to move it. In this axis with these two buttons, and in this axis with these two buttons. So this is something you need to do the very first time you buy the microscope and the very first time you're using it. Once you've done that, there's nothing more to be done. You're all set to go and ready, and you have a beautifully well balanced microscope. So getting to the dials that we have here, so this is to control the field that is illuminated. You can have a very small field whenever you're aiming at seeing details like a broken file, like a wide apex, or you can enlarge it to have it such as per your daily usage, whenever you're removing decay, removing fluids, doing some restorative works. We have the stepless zoom right here, so fantastic for documenting on every step. It's also much easier than to have a carousel inside, which limits you to certain zooms. Then you have the filters, which are orange and green, nothing special there, and this is where you have your light intensity. So straightforward, nothing fancy, nothing difficult. The built-in camera, the angulated beam splitter. We also have a rotoplate here, so this is really nice. I can, as you can see, I can angle the microscope like this whenever I'm doing maybe some surgical procedure, and I can stay forward because as you can see, I can turn the binocular. So this is a must-have. This, as I told you in the beginning of the video, is a perfect setup if you're aiming at documenting your cases. The 12.5 oculars, I would have loved to have the 10.0, and I'm actually planning on changing this with the 10.0, so I have a bigger or a wider field of view than I currently have at the moment. The phone adapter, I have an iPhone here. iPhone seems, in my opinion, to be the best choice, because if you have a MacBook, then you can easily send your pictures via AirDrop directly to your MacBook Pro. So guys, this is the end of the clip. This is the first review in this new style of filming. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope the information was worth your time. Also, I'm very curious to know if you have worked with this microscope. If you did, and if you have something to add to the information I've presented, be sure to leave a comment. I would like to engage with you in the comment section, and I believe that discussions are very important, because people watching this video will be able to then read our conversation and maybe get even more information than they will get just by watching the clip. If you think this information or this style of filming, of presenting the different devices, materials is interesting, be sure to leave this video a like. Also subscribe to the channel, as everything we do here is without any sponsorship, so yeah, that definitely helps us a lot. And be sure to keep an eye out for our newest videos. I'm going to try to discuss about as many materials, instruments and devices as my free time allows it. So yeah, hit that bell, that notification bell, and be up to date whenever we post something new. So until next time, I just want to say that have a great endo, and whatever you do, do it with passion. Bye bye guys.